subscribers and non-subscribers, and welcome back to Let's Play Rule the Waves 2. So I do want to go and mention I am recording basically all these parts sort of back to back. I mean, it's happened on different days, but they've all been recorded back to back. So this should be part 10, I believe, which is, considering I'm probably only going to do one video a week, yeah, I'm already basically got like 2 months worth, which is fine. Which is that's great. That gives me tons of leeway for potentially messing around with getting a hit on other stuff for recordings. But last part we entered a war with Germany. We fought a couple of fairly minor engagements, finishing off with the largest engagement we had, which was a convoy raid, which they had 2 battleships, but we had our trusty Minnesota. I was pointing to the wrong ship for a second there, but no, it was the trusty Minnesota. Maybe the mighty Minnesota, I don't know. I can live with a little bit less budget. Well, this isn't actually going to decrease my budget. This is just saying, at least it's not permanently decreasing my budget. I'm basically just saying, yeah, sure, give the army some more resources so they can finish that battle in the Northern Marianas a little bit faster. Let me go and start my timer as well. I almost forgot for a second. 1 friendly merchant sunk, 4 enemy merchants sunk, estimated enemy operational subs 8 to my 27. That's not a particularly great. No, actually I suppose it's an okay ratio. Took them 8 subs to sink 1 merchant, but I was able to sink 4 merchants with 27 subs. I suppose it's not the greatest. It's also not the worst. So trade disruptions from raiders and subs sinking, or submarine sinkings, are causing hardship and food shortages in Germany. So we will be potentially able to force Germany to the negotiation table relatively quickly. I don't have a picture for the... I probably don't have a picture for you because I don't think you guys are finished, right? Yes, I don't have updated info for you. I'll do that after this part. Not that big of a deal right now. I could pause to do it, but never mind. It doesn't need to be done right now. Fleet battle in support of land combat. Germany says no thanks. Widespread demonstrations and serious disturbances are reported in Germany. Don't let them off lightly. Continued operations will secure our total victory. Negotiations are derailed by the Hawk Party. And we've managed to take the Northern Marianas, for whatever that's worth, which is basically nothing because they are a value 0 territory, but hey, we have them. Going to give them a nice 10-inch gun battery, and yeah, I can't invade anywhere else. You do have value, and I don't really care to take anything in Northeast Asia. I will let Japan take all of Northeast Asia. You know, I have absolutely 0 issues with them taking all of Northeast Asia. And I'll let them keep Formosa, assuming that we manage to keep our alliance intact. And the Kentuckys are done. Let's queue up 1 Kentucky. For now. Actually, no. Queue up another one. Again, if the funds you have on hand is equal to half of your yearly budget, they start taking resources from you. And we're at 150 some odd thousand with a yearly budget of 480 some odd thousand. Well, we've still got a little ways to go, but we're sort of getting close. So let's go ahead and spend some of this money now. Let's go ahead and spend a little extra to accelerate the Kentuckys down to 30 months as opposed to the 33 they were going to take. Strikes and anti-war demonstrations are rumored to take place in Germany. Enemy fleet dominates the sea around Midway. Really? Well, I suppose that is accurate. I don't think I have anything really in Midway. Yeah, I've got a light cruiser and a bunch of corvettes. Yeah, I'm not surprised that the enemy dominates the seas around Midway. But since Midway is a value 0 province, it means nothing. They gained 0 victory points for that. Our latest army offensive has been reasonably successful, pushing back the enemy several miles and capturing strategic terrain. But we shouldn't have any army offensives with the Germans, because we haven't invaded anything after we've taken the Northern Marianas. We don't share a land border or anything like that with any of their stuff, so where is the army doing any offensives? More strikes and anti-war demonstrations rumored to take place in Germany. We can secure even better terms if we crush them completely. A few more months will do it. The president is persuaded by senior generals to scuttle the peace negotiations. And temporary setback in figuring out improved weight controls. And quality negative 1/16-inch guns. Japan stole some shit from us. Let's not get upset over a little spying. We've done it ourselves. Technically, we're still doing it. Just, you know, only at low levels. More strikes and anti-war demonstrations. More of our destroyers have finished. German raider AMC Neptune has been forced to scuttle due to lack of fuel. I don't think I can see their, yeah, I can't see their unrest here. I wish I could, but I can't. Hopefully, though, they don't end up with a revolution, and hopefully they just decide to come to the peace tables before the revolution occurs. Italy wants improved. You know what, Italy? We've been friends for quite a while now. We've renewed our alliance, our security agreement rather, twice, I believe. Maybe 3 times, but I think it's twice. Each time, I believe, is 5 years. Now, ours initially was not created prior to the war with Britain. You joined in on our side, for whatever reason, down the line. I think it was because Germany joined in, and Italy and Germany have issues, so Italy decided to join in on our side, because it was an excuse to go to war with Germany, basically. So that ran through. We've renewed it twice, I believe. So basically, it's not, obviously it's not actually 15 years, but you know, we've had our alliance for a good little while now. Yeah, I'll let you buy that off me. Ah, and we've gotten blueprints for the Schleswig-Holstein, which I don't even have on here. So I will again have to update this with the latest information. And they're doing that damn weird British design of 4 aft and wing turrets. And again, they're not even crossfire capable wing turrets. Oh, they sunk a submarine. Hopefully it wasn't one of mine. Oh, Germany's no longer blockaded. I'm not paying attention. Well, part of that is because they brought a whole bunch of their stuff back home, but also Italy moved all their stuff out of Northern Europe at some point. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you pay attention to what's going on around you. Oh, New Mexico. You know what? I got nothing better to do with you guys, so let's send you through the upgrade. I'm sorry, game. Okay, they were quality -1. For some reason, I thought it was saying they were quality 1, and then I was confused why I thought going down to 0 was better. Can I actually drop you down to 6 and drop you to 5 without the game complaining? In a sense, yeah. The game will still complain about turrets, but those will get better in time. I gave you more turrets. Max out at 34, so I make that 10. Fine. I can make the New Mexico's a tad bit faster at 23 knots as opposed to 22. Get you to 24. Nope, not quite. Okay. Fine. No dual turrets. Right? No. And the game wants you to become a battle cruiser if I do that. Oh no. Game says you need to be a battle cruiser if I make you up to 23 at all. Okay. We'll keep you at 20. Those. You got a metric ton of ammunition. I could downgrade your guns in terms of the number of guns you have and make them 16-inch guns. But I'm not going to do that. That is a lot of leeway on weight. Oh, it's fine. We'll live. We'll need it anyway later, I'm sure. Let's do that. We built the New Mexicos. Both of them are in on the North American East Coast, so it's fine. Unexpected advances in ASW. Now I have Q ships, which I don't think are actually a design of ship you can build. Oh, and it's Armored Merchant Cruiser. For whatever reason, I always want to say Armored Merchant Carrier for some reason. I don't know why. And they've again abandoned Northern Europe. Now, I don't have any docks that I can actually use in Northern Europe, but there's technically nothing stopping me from moving a couple of ships over there. The issue is, I think for them to be able to actually engage in any real combat, I would have to have ships designed with long range, and my ships don't have long range. My ships have medium range, because 99.9% of the time, that's all you need. Anything more than that is often just extra. At least that's typically how it is. Dales. But do I have any more Jenkins coming out? Got 2 more Jenkins coming out. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take the Dales. I'm going to move them to Southeast Asia. The Jarvises that are in Southeast Asia, I'm going to move to the Central Pacific. And coastal raid around the Carolina Islands. They are actually going to give a... Oh, I'm the one starting this, so whoops, okay. Did not realize I was the aggressor. I should have probably expected that though, because I don't own the Carolina Islands. This is fine. Let's head down here as quickly as we can. Destroy the bombardment target, and then just leave. They probably have some light cruisers or something. Or destroyers, maybe. I don't know what it is. Are they actually armored cruisers, or are they, you lying to me, game? No, they are actually armored cruisers. You guys can't deal with armored cruisers, can you? You have torpedoes, and that's about the only way you can deal with armored cruisers. Or getting lucky and hitting the deck. Actually, even that's out of the question, really. Yep. We're gonna leave. What's your max speed? Out of curiosity, 21? Okay, we're slightly faster than you if we're actually traveling at our max speed. I don't feel like losing any of my ships. Night is too far. I mean, I'm 99% certain they've spotted us. They know I'm here. But they seem to be going in some sort of patrol pattern. Here we go. Now Now they're firing on us. And my ships broke up for whatever reason. Quickly trying to take out that bombardment target if you can. We got back together again. I mean, I'm sure they're having a bit of a hard time penning us, so if I can take out the bombardment target quickly, it's okay. We're gonna go around. And hope we don't run into a mine. We're gonna hopefully be able to get them stuck on the geometry here. That's probably a transport or something. There. Oh no, Corvette. Game, quit it. I know. How about all these things? I don't really care about them enough to have you pausing every damn time. Run into any mines and you guys will be okay. Lost sight of the armored cruisers. We probably have a little bit of time now. Slow down to cruising speed. Take that out quickly and then you guys can go back home where it's nice and safe. You can head to Guam. I don't know. Do something in Guam. On fire, so it's probably gonna be done shortly. Need you guys to finish this. There you go. Get out of here. Start making your way back towards Guam. You guys did take some damage. Hopefully it's nothing too severe. And night's coming now. More issues in Germany? Yes, sure. And we've been friends for a while. I expect us to continue our friendship for quite a while. I'm willing to share tech with you. Also, let's go ahead. These lake moors, they're not really needed anymore. At least I don't think they are. Actually, no, we'll just do the ones that are considered outdated. So, given the better gun. That actually, it shouldn't have. No, okay, it didn't. Give them that. I could upgrade them to oil, but there's really no need. So we're just going to give them the better guns. I could, in fact, do literally nothing at all with them. And that'll update it so that they are no longer labeled as outdated. But, yeah, it's fine. Battleship engagement around the Caroline Islands. Germans don't give battle. Enemy raid around Guam. Some ships from Japan have joined us. Out of curiosity, Japan, what did you send? You sent me some destroyers. And an armored cruiser. I will graciously accept. We're going south. Because my experience has been that enemies for battles around Guam tend to come sort of from the south, sometimes southeast, but typically it's almost straight south from Guam. Trying to select the Asau. Whatever. the armored cruiser you sent me, which is not the worst armored cruiser, but it's also not the best. Now that's the installation they're trying to destroy. I'm going to actually keep my ships, I think, up towards that sort of region. How far away is night? It is approaching. Wish I had more ships. And I'm hopeful. No, you guys are far enough apart that actually there is an ability for them to just slip through there. Ah, enemy spotted. Where? By my guys. I'll say enemy ship. It's an unidentified ship, which basically means it's an enemy. That looks like a destroyer. With how rapidly it made that turn. I don't have sight on them anymore. That's a good thing I kept my armored cruisers up here by the installation. Because otherwise they might have been able to get there and at least start shooting at it for a little bit before I was able to get up here and react. I don't know what direction it fled to. All I know is it's sort of headed east. But I don't know where it went from there, if it headed northeast at all. And since night's fallen now, we're pretty much guaranteed to not spot it. Yep. We can basically say this battle's over. No, I'm not trying to send you guys into the port. I just kind of forgot about you guys. Busy managing the other guys. The ones from Japan. This battle is effectively done. They're not going to be able to... Well, I won't be able to spot them. They could, in theory, manage to make it to the installation, but it's unlikely. Considering how close I am sticking to it. Yep. One, they sent a destroyer. Where did it go? It fled back home. I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. A single destroyer was never going to successfully knock out this installation. It does not have a big enough gun or enough ammunition to be able to kill it. Especially since it's a crappy 2-inch gun destroyer. They were never going to succeed anyway. We got blueprints for the Dreadnought Nassau, which is a Pommern class, which we already had info for, so thank you for more info. Enemy dominates the seas around Midway. I mean... Yes? Yes, they technically do. I mean, I wouldn't really say they dominate, but whatever. North Dakota's been commissioned, the Parker's been commissioned. Don't let them off lightly, or well, we can secure even better terms. A peace is included with our side gaining large territories and considerable war reparations. So what do we gain? Well, I have 8 points for demanding stuff. So we have choices. Now, annoyingly, I can't pull up the map while I'm doing this to figure out where I want to do stuff. So, I'm definitely taking the Caroline Islands because they're a value of 0. Why not? Now, any value that I do not use will be given to me in as I will instead gain it as war reparations. So it's not a case of you have to use all of your value. You don't have to use any of it if you don't want to. In fact, technically in our case, we're not using any of it because, like I said, Caroline Islands has a value of 0. So we're using 0 of our value, but we're still gaining a possession. It's not a valuable possession because it's right next to Guam, just like the Northern Marianas are. But it's something that sort of keeps the Germans out of Southeast Asia. Not completely, because they do have land in that sort of general area, particularly in Northeast Asia. But nonetheless, so I think that's all I'm going to take though, because I don't care for taking anything in Africa. At least not right now. Maybe later, depending on how long this campaign goes. And the Marshall Islands... Oh, I think the Marshall Islands might be considered part of Central Pacific. So if I take that, that locks them out of the Central Pacific more or less, because I don't think they'll be able to invade the Marshall Islands anytime soon. By that point, I should already have a much, much larger fleet than I do right now. If I take the Bismarck Archipelago, that'll give me a holding in the South Pacific, which I don't know if I want, because that's a very British heavy region. Yeah, I think we're only going to use a single value to take the Marshall Islands, just so that we can sort of lock down the Central Pacific. Basically, nobody will be able to invade the Central Pacific because nobody has any invasion or will be able to invade anything there. So in the agreement, the following but Japan was able to take stuff, so they took Tanganyika. Really, Japan? Oh, okay. And yes, the Marshall Islands is part of the Central Pacific. I'm not sure how to feel about that. Japan decided to take Tanganyika, which is in the Indian Ocean Sea region. Or theater, rather. That's... why? If I was you, I would have taken Kaitacho Bay. Because then that keeps the Germans out of Northeast Asia. You know, that gets you one step closer to locking down Northeast Asia. You know, then you just gotta fight a battle with the Russians, or a war with the Russians, and then good luck with a war with the British, but you know, if you manage to succeed, great. You know, you got a couple things from the British you could take, but in a war with the Germans you take Tanganyika? Really? And the Italians got nothing. But I get the feeling they probably would have taken Kaitacho Bay, you know. If the Japanese are going to take something in Africa, the Italians are going to take something in Asia, because why the hell not? We got the Oklahoma back. It's no longer interned. Doesn't actually say on here that the Oklahoma's been returned to us. But that's fine. I do see that they are apparently scrapping a lot of their stuff. Mostly Corvettes, which is interesting because there's really no reason to do that. But, you know, you do you, I guess. And let's go ahead and rebuild the rest of the Lake Moors. At the Lake Michigans to foreign station. Now the game won't complain about tonnage on foreign station. So the Oregon's almost done. New docks completed. The 10-inch coastal battery in the Northern Marianas is finished, and the Oregon has now been commissioned officially. That reminds me. Marshall Islands. You need some nice 10-inch batteries. Why do you need 10-inch batteries? Because why don't you need 10-inch batteries? I don't think the Oklahomans have any changes, do they? Oh, they're on oil. Or the Montanas on oil. No, the Montanas are on coal. Let's just get you guys up to oil. Die. No, that was the New Mexicos. Apparently, I just completely forgot about the Montanas. So, yep. Get you guys up to oil. Let's use this extra space, I think, to give you some more ammo, because holy crap. 80 rounds per gun is basically nothing. Let's do 110 rounds per gun. It's not that much better, but it is better. The Illinois, do you need to be? Yes, the Illinois also needs to be done, so switch you to oil. Do 110 for you as well. Let's upgrade your tertiaries to 4-inch guns. We'll keep your secondaries as 6s though. Now we only have the single Illinois. Let's also go ahead and upgrade, or rebuild rather, the Oregon and the North Dakota to the revision 1909 Wyoming. We are apparently close to mastering horizontal turbines, which I think is a torpedo technology. Send some of our oldest ship to get a little bit more budget. Torpedo protection 2 is nice, thank you game. 8 corvettes finished reconstruction. Great Britain is hosting an international regatta and sail race. Our well-trained crew is in the favor to win. What are our instructions? Go for the win. Yep, horizontal turbines are torpedoes. No idea who won. Game doesn't say who won it. At least as far as I can tell. Somebody's stolen some tech from us, but we don't know who. So, Lake Moors are done. Set you guys to foreign station as well. I mostly rely on corvettes for anti-submarine during war. Japan wants... no, we're not going to give Japan better torpedoes. That's just a bad idea, in my opinion. Continue upgrading our shipyards, although I think we are well ahead of everybody else, because I haven't been forgetting to upgrade them. And we got the money, so we might as well. North Carolina's been commissioned, 2 more corvettes finished. No, Germany, we literally just fought a war. Screw you. Well on our way to understanding more and more stuff, which is always nice. Italy wants 4 centerline turrets. You know what, Italy? We've been friends for a while, sure. And set back in the concept of depth charges. Italy wants to buy hull construction testing tank for hull form, sure. North Carolina finished her workup. The Colorado has finished her reconstruction along with the New Mexico. We've gotten quality control, which is a gradual improvement of armor quality and a weight saving. Oh, North Carolina, you need to do your rebuild as well. Okay, coastal batteries in the Northern Marianas have finished. Russia wants to sell me quality 0 13-inch guns. I currently have quality -2. Yes, I will buy that. Although I don't use 13-inch guns, but, you know, it's nice to have, because you never know. Maybe I do decide to build some 13-inch gun battle cruisers or something. And the Panama Canal has finally opened in July 1914. Japan wants to buy improved rolled shipbuilding, sure. Hey, Italy, I know I just sold you 4 centerline turrets, but guess what I got? 5 plus centerline turrets. Which is kind of overkill. Because literally nothing will use that unless it counts torpedo tubes, or centerline torpedo tubes, as a turret. Which I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Oh, I had the old Franklins. What happened to the Franklins? I don't think we ever... Or is it the Franklins? No, the Fredericks. I don't think the Fredericks have ever fired a shot. They've been around for 4 years now. Or at least in service. Oh no, not 4 years. They've been in service... Well, you know what? Just check the design. It's easier this way. The Fredericks have been in service since 1907 as a design, so they're 7 years old. And yet, like I said, I don't think they've ever fired a shot. Because they all came out 2 years later. Well, 2+ years later. Well, let's design a battle cruiser. No to the midship. And no to the aft centerline. Aft superimposed. Sure. But not aft centerline. Those are only good for broadsides. Only. Also, I'm going to clear that and redo your turrets because those just look weird. There we go. Spacing was just really screwed up for some reason there. So let's see, what do we want to do? Drop your torpedoes because they're just not worth it. You have 2,000. Holy crap. 5 and 4-inch secondaries and tertiaries. How many of these can I fit on you? They'll complain because they are too small. But you're not going to complain about the number at 24 secondaries. 2416. Put those in dual gun mounts. Not that it really matters. Tertiaries, you don't really see. Well, you don't see them at all on here. Out of curiosity, what do the enemy have for battle cruiser designs? At least as of when I updated this. 9.5 inches is the largest, so that's with 13. No. Not 15-inch guns. No. I know you want to put 15-inch guns on everything because you say that's the biggest gun size you have. It's actually not. I could do 16s, which is ridiculous on a battle cruiser. Let's do 10 inches on the belt, a little bit larger than theirs. They have 13s. So with my current quality 13-inch guns, these ships are impervious. Well, they have an immunity. They're not necessarily impervious, really. Between 9,000 and 18,000 yards. When it comes to 14-inch guns, 8,000 and 18,000 with my current quality -1 14-inch guns. And that specifically is looking at it needs to be able to avoid being penned by both both the belt and the deck, not just one or the other, which is why 7,000 doesn't cut it. If I put this at 10.5, there you go. If I go up to 11, it gets to 6,000, and if I put it at 11.5, it'll go to 5,000, which is something I could do, though that is kind of a heavy battle cruiser, to be honest, in terms of belt armor. So I can't make the speed any higher than 25, which is fine. It's sort of about in line with the other battle cruisers that I have information on. Secondaries aren't that important. We'll drop them down to 2 to get a little extra space. Um, 120 rounds per gun. Let's make the deck just a little bit thicker if we can. 2.5 would have probably been okay, but let's just get you to 3 to make sure. That 14-inch guns, at least my current ones, are not going to be able to pen you. I could do the deck extended up to another 1/2 inch to bring it to 2, but let's not. I still don't have all or nothing armor, which is a little annoying, but we'll live. Can I make you any smaller? I could get you down to 31,000, but that doesn't do much except make you a little bit cheaper. I can't add any speed by doing it, so I wanna save just a little bit of money. I mean, it's what? Monthly cost to build is 3,688. So it's what, like 22? 32, rather, actually? 32. That's not really worth it, to be honest. I kind of prefer to have the extra space. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna basically make a... I don't actually recall. What was the weight on the Kentucky? Is this heavier than the Kentucky? Excuse me, the Kentucky? I get the feeling it might be. Or at least it's about where the Kentucky is. Either way, we're gonna build a battle cruiser that's kind of just a pocket version almost of our Kentucky. This is fine, 4 months to build that. Okay, Kentucky, how heavy are you? The Kentuckys are 32,500. While the Constitutions are 31,400, so 1,100 difference. So, yeah, they're not that much better, all things considered. Or rather, like I said, they're sort of a pocket version of it. They're also faster by 4 knots, which is a decent amount. And 1,100-ton destroyers, and we have medium-range submarines, which reminds me. Let's build more submarines. And our technology sharing agreement with Japan has expired. I don't think I really got anything out of that, to be completely honest with you all. But I had it. I have another Wyoming coming out. I actually have 2 rebuilds going. Let's move another Wyoming. We'll take the North Dakota. And we'll put it in Southeast Asia. The French want to get oil firing. Do the French even have access to oil? They don't, which means they would have to import it, which means if they got blockaded, that will severely hamper them. I believe that's how that works. I don't think, have to have access to oil to be able to use oil firing. It's just that if you get blockaded, any oil-firing ships are basically dead. I'll give it to him. Unexpected advancements and for the airship stuff, which I don't care about. Let's build 2 Constitutions. The Constitution and the Lexington, that's fine. Really wants armor, sure. Docks completed. Germany, nope. I'm not going to share any tech with the Germans or the British. Those guys are going to be on their own when it comes to technology. The Russians I might sometimes share tech with. For the most part though, the only people I'm going to share tech with are Japan, Italy, sometimes the French, and even less sometimes the Russians. Although I do want to take some land off the French. I will want to take their Caribbean possessions. Well, possession, rather. Of the Antilles. Just to kick them out of the Caribbean. Now, I want to be able to ensure that the only threat I have in the Caribbean is the British. And even that threat I want to deal with in the future. But for now, we'll leave them be. The President has returned from a state visit to Great Britain, bringing home a proposal to solve outstanding tensions, or outstanding sources of tension, between our nations. What is your response when asked for advice? Let's try to decrease tensions with the British. Hey, better 16-inch guns, and I just bought, or just researched a little while ago, the crappy -1. Japan wants better armor, sure. I'm not going to give the Japanese better torpedoes though, because I don't know how long we will be allies, and torpedoes are dangerous to say the least. Oh, I should probably also design a new armored cruiser. Yeah, see, that's a nice design game. Why didn't you want to design things like that in the past? But I haven't actually researched superimposed turrets for armored cruiser. Technically, I can't use those. That's fine. I'll figure out what to do. Okay, put 2. How many of these can I have? 32 max. What, 8? Math is correct, right? Yeah. 27 knots, that's okay. 9 rounds per gun is kind of low. Let's go to 150. I believe 11 inches makes you have to be a battle cruiser, yeah. 10 inches is the best you got. Also clear those turrets and put them back in. Okay, that is where they're supposed to be, apparently. Not quite worth making smaller, so we're going to keep you at 12,800. How does that compare to enemy armored cruisers, just out of curiosity? My design. 27. I had, what was it, 150? Something like that. Forward and aft. Drop the torpedo. Okay, well, so 12,800 is... A couple of these guys have bigger things at over 14,000. 13,000 Zumo from the Japanese. But mostly they seem to fall into that sort of 11 to 12,000-ish range. Oil, thank you. Like, there has to be another area where I can save a little bit of weight. Make sure the deck is at least 2 inches so you don't get splintering. And those are also 10-inch guns, thank you. Very important. You know what? We'll just make the ship bigger. It's easier. It's much easier to just make your ship bigger than it is to try and cut weight. No dual turret, right? Yes, still can't do those. Just gonna double check, and I don't think I can do centerline torpedo tubes. Yeah. Currently I can only do that on ships that are 2,500 tons or less. So I want to give you submerged. Could give you all 4 submerged. I think I'm going to do that, yeah. I'll give you those. Can I actually give you multiple tubes and submerged torpedoes? I don't use submerged torpedoes often enough. I typically actually strip those out of most of my ships. I'm relying mostly on above water centerline torpedoes on destroyers, normally. I just haven't done that this campaign, really, except for battleships and dreadnoughts. Yeah, let's see how we can do. I think this is an okay design. Nice 10-inch guns, 150 rounds per. It's only got 2 because I don't have superimposed turrets for armored cruisers yet. 24 6-inch secondary guns and 8 5-inch tertiaries. Their main job is just to be AA in the or dual purpose guns rather in the future once I research that tech. 5 inches of belt, which is okay. I could get you up to 6 inches if I make you a bit bigger. You know what, I'll make you a bit bigger and get you up to 6 inches. That seems to be the upper bound for a lot of these. Yep. So it'll take you 25 months, which is almost a frickin' battleship, or a dreadnought, rather. Well, actually, yeah, or a battleship, if I build an old battleship again. Also, because I made the ships bigger, I can add more tertiary guns. Okay, max out at 34, so I can only add an extra set of tertiaries. That's fine. Yeah, so 27 knots. Which is actually ludicrously fast for an armored cruiser. Look at these guys. As of when I updated this, which admittedly it's a little bit old. Updated earlier today, before I recorded these 2 parts. But they're mostly around 20 to 23. Well, I say around 20 to 23. They are between 20 and 23 for the most part. There's an exception here with a French design, but most of them are in that 20 to 23 range, with a lot of... most of them I want to say are 20s. Yeah, I want to say most of them are in that 20. So, 27 knots, this thing's going to keep up with, like, destroyers. Particularly these old model destroyers, and even some newer ones, in fact, actually. These French arcs are 27 knots. And they're from 1908. So, yeah. I could beef up the armor. I could make the ship smaller if I decrease the speed to be more in line with enemy armored cruisers. Or I can decrease the speed and bulk up the armor, making it harder for enemies to pen you, which is already difficult. Because what do most of the armored cruisers run around with again. 7, 7, 8, a couple 10s. But it looks like I want to say most of them are 7s and 8s with a couple of 9s and 10s mixed in. 10s seem to be a little bit more recent of a design decision. No, actually 10s look to be old, interestingly. The only exception is this French one, but most of these ones with 10-inch guns are the starter designs. Well, and this Russian one here. You're almost impervious to 10-inch guns. If I could just get your belt to 6.5, which I could do if I move you to drop your ammo a little bit to 130. Yeah, that should be fine. I should still be able to upgrade your fire control without any serious issue. So if I get you to 6.5, you cannot be penned by quality -1 10-inch guns. Quality 0 11-inch guns though, yeah, they can pen you if they close within 11,000 yards. Yep. Chester is going to be the name of this design. 3 months to get that out. Major Shipyard wants to build another Constitution class. They say we can do it in 29 months at a 10% discount. You know what? Sure. I'll take another Connie. Let's blame the French for another round of fighting in several Balkan nations. It's the French. The French are screwing up things in the Balkans for reasons. I don't know why. Don't ask. Japan wants to extend, yes. And the Kentucky is finished. There has been a political murder in the Balkans. Demand that the guilty are brought to justice, even at the risk of war. So our nice fancy Kentuckys are done. We're catching up to the British in terms of dreadnoughts. So they are building 2 more, so they're about to have 11, and I have 6. But that's fine. You know what? 6 already puts us well ahead of everybody else who has 2 or 1. You know, the Russians are in 3rd place with 3. Although they are building 2 more. So they will have 5, which means they'll be right on our heel. Maybe I'll build another Kentucky. Because why not? I got the money. You know, it's useful. Japan is hosting. Let's go for the win. Don't know who won. And the Chester's done, but let's... we're not going to build any Chesters right now. We're kind of spending a lot of money on building stuff as it is, so yep. Nevada's finished her workup. Buy from Britain, give it maximum publicity. Publicity. I'm struggling to say the word for some reason right now. Or at least it's not sounding right. Italy wants to extend. Yes. Kentucky finished her workup. Superheater. Save on machinery. -1. Quality 18-inch guns. President says something bad about the French. What is your response when asked by a foreign journalist? Agree wholeheartedly with the president. No. We'll agree with the president when he says that the French love to eat snails and frog, and they piss in a river, or whatever frickin' thing it is we're saying about the French. Now, this is fine. Also, I should probably move more stuff to the Caribbean if I'm going to get into a war with the French. And maybe Southeast Asia as well. Hey, I got some new Kentuckys. Now, I'd like to see those in action. But I have Wyoming, so I'm going to take 2 of these Wyomings and I'm going to move them to the Caribbean. Huh. That leaves me with a spare Wyoming. Ah, that's fine. We'll live. I don't have a lot of stuff in the Caribbean in terms of armored cruisers, so let's take 3 Fredericks and put them in the Caribbean. I have a metric ton of destroyers in the Caribbean at 18, which is well more than I need there, realistically. I have 12 in Southeast Asia. Like, you know what, I'm going to move some of these Jarvises actually to Southeast Asia. Because I don't need them in the Central Pacific anymore. I did that just because at a time, but they're not needed anymore. And this extra one, I'm going to scrap, because I just don't want to have an extra lying around. The Jenkins, all 12 of them are going to stay in the North American East Coast. And yeah, I think this is fine. Get to a war with the French. Let's go high intel on them. And a pro-Japanese coup has taken place in Borneo. Well, I'm not a fan of that. Well, it's not the worst thing ever, I suppose. It gives them a launching off point to Singapore. And it doesn't really hurt me in any real way. Plus, you know, we're friends with the Japanese, and there's no way they're going to come and attack us. Because they keep wanting to renew our security agreement. Well, they still have an undeveloped shipbuilding industry, and their technology is considered backwards still for technical development. Same with the Italians when it comes to tech, but I have no idea for their... Well, their shipbuilding industry is basically on par with mine then, since it doesn't say undeveloped or efficient. Now, actually, one thing I should note. So, because the British have global naval power, my understanding of this is whenever they basically feel like they're threatened by somebody else, they will increase their budget. So basically, because I keep building up my navy, the Germans are able, or the British rather, not the Germans, are able to have their budget just magically increase every so often as a result of this. That's something we're gonna have to deal with. I build up, the British get a larger budget, so they use that to build up. I build up more to catch up with them. They get a larger budget yet again. But at the end of the day, I think we're gonna be fine against the British now if we go to war with them. We'll live. That is a lot of battle cruisers. Jesus, 11? Really? You don't need 11. Also, are they even any good? Invincible, 24 knots, 8 14-inch guns, and again, they're not crossfire capable. 6.5-inch belt, that is tiny, because my Connies are 11.5. Though they are 31,400 tons. How big is yours again? 20,000. Okay, so I've added like an extra 10,000 and some odd tons. Your biggest ones are the Princess Royals, which I don't have any info on right now. Next best things I got are the Illustriouses, which you decrease the belt armor on. But they're larger. Made them faster and you decrease the belt armor, and they're larger. Ah, but you also upgraded the guns to 15-inch instead of 14. Your Illustriouses are literally your Invincibles, just larger and with bigger guns. A little bit faster. But they give up armor. And 5.5 inches of belt armor on a battlecruiser is not a lot. You know, my guys penned that easily on my battle cruisers, or my battleships rather. My battle cruisers, Same story, they can easily pen 5.5. My old battleships, yeah, with the 12-inch guns, they can pen 5.5 as well. Those not tigers, that's the one I was looking at. Those illustriouses don't look like particularly great designs. If I can easily pen the belt armor on them now. And 6 inches isn't great either. I don't know what the British are thinking. But these armor capacities, 5.5, 6, even 6.5, not that great. Being flexible here at 7 is a bit more competitive, but even then it's not that great. Because if I can pen you at range, even though you have these fancy 3 submerged torpedoes, which is probably 1 4 and 1 on each side, I won't get hit by your torpedo if I don't ever have to close in on you. And if I'm faster than you, which I'm not in this case actually, you are faster than me, so you will close at the distance if I try to run. But I have more guns that can effectively fire while I run away. So I'm pretty sure their wing turrets will not be able to shoot at me if they're chasing me. I'm pretty sure those can only hit you if they have a broadside on you. Which obviously, if they're chasing me, they don't have a broadside. So those designs that the British are doing just seem like terrible designs. They really do. Irresistible is interesting. 1 4, 2 aft, and 2 wing turrets? Really? You went with a superimposed aft as opposed to a superimposed 4? Why? Superimposed 4 is much more useful than superimposed aft unless you're planning to have these irresistibles run away in all their battles. Or be broadsiding, but they'll probably be running away more often than not. And I'll be gaining on them. They have a top speed of 21 knots according to my spies. I'm 25 on the Kentuckies. Or no, excuse me, I'm 21 on the Kentucky, so we're just even. But I'm 25 on my battle cruisers and 22s on the old Wyomings. And the Kentuckys, you know, give me a little bit of time, boom, I can slap them up 22. I can almost get them to 23, in fact. I just need like another upgrade to weight savings, and I can get them to 23 with an upgrade. It'll take a year, because they'll have to go through a replace machinery rebuild, but they can still get there. So, wow, well, I think we're going to have an easy time for a lot of our wars going forward, which is always a good thing, of course. For me, at least. But yeah, so that's going to be it for this part. I will see you all next time, where we will be looking to start a war with the French so I can take their Caribbean holdings. I don't really care about their Southeast Asia holdings, but, you know, maybe I'll take them. Maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll see. I really just care for the Caribbean one, though. Everything else would just be a bonus if I decide to take it. So yeah, that's going to be it for this part. I'll see you all next time, but until then, goodbye and farewell.